with a new episode of the Sloth Doctors. I am Dr. Chip.
I am Dr. Bob.
And as our guest today, we have Bill Meredith of the Cravens. Here, let's hold up his... Where's the Cravens? Great local band.
Which, of course, will be in the description.
Yeah, obviously. And he's got a gig on the 27th, but I doubt this is going to be out by the 27th. So,
yeah.
But if you're around the Bamboo Room and on the 27th, which, it's too late.
Which is technically a week from today.
True.
Literally.
I should make note that I did have a couple episodes ago, the guy that I played in my very first band with, but I should say that Bill is the first guy I've ever played the bass with. I literally was just playing the bass in my living room for years, and I've been thinking about this. Who did we play with?
Too many years ago to remember.
Well, I've got it down to two guys. It was either a guy that worked at Highlight as a busboy, and I can't remember his name for the life of me, or it was a guy that worked at the Gathering whose name was Buddy. Does that sound familiar?
Neither one do.
Yeah.
Well, I was a guy who worked at Highlight as a busboy, but it wasn't me.
No, it was this other guy, and I don't think you guys worked at the same time either. I can't remember the guy's name. I want to say like Jerry, but that's not. I know just Jerry is. Yeah.
I remember the living room, but I don't remember.
Right. Yeah. And whose living room was it? It wasn't mine. Was it yours?
I think.
Okay. Well, it's been their living room. Okay. Interesting.
I think so.
But I remember we played like what's that Hall and Oates song? Duncan, I've needed another night. What's the fucking name of this? I'm so bad with words. We played that song just like over and over and over again, like the whole time.
Hopefully not Man-Eater.
That's it. That was the one.
This is why I don't remember.
We played that song I think we played another, and of course nobody was singing, so it was just us kind of going through the music of like, oh, okay, that sounds cool. But yeah, that was the first time I'd ever played with a drummer with my bass. It was with this guy right here.
Well, we'd call them memories, but we don't remember.
And we're all alumni of Twin Lakes, and I was actually in the class with your brother Ted.
Oh, okay.
But you were a couple of years ahead of me, right? You graduated what, 88? 78?
78.
Yeah, I was 81. So yeah, you were.
And I was 89. So we all three of us, Twin Lakes, huh? No. Outstanding.
Yeah.
What are the odds?
Institution.
Well, at least we were there at the same time, and you were.
Right.
Just,
but I do think that we've all three had some of the same teachers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We were talking about that out in the lobby. Shout out to Sanford Schumann.
Yeah, he's got to come on the
teacher
show.
and a pal of mine. Yeah. I've got family members that live with the guy.
You have any Schumann stories from high school you want to?
None that I'd care to
We
share.
used to steal his bus all the time and go to lunch.
Now, technically, you didn't steal it. You borrowed it.
No, we stole it. We hotwired it.
Yeah, but you took it back. Stealing it implies keeping it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we did bring it back.
I mean, honestly, I've known him a long time. You should have just asked him for the keys. He would have given you the keys. You wouldn't have had to destroy the dash.
That wasn't the point. That would have ruined the whole point of it. We were going to steal the van. There was no point in, you can't steal it if you have the keys.
More fun.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think you can make the guy mad. I've never seen him angry at anything. He's the most calm and collected person.
I've seen him angry.
Really?
Yes.
We tried.
And it was quite odd looking because he was smiling the whole time. He was furious, but he was smiling the whole time.
That's frightening.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was kind of frightening, as a matter of fact. But yeah, I saw him get mad. I can't remember what it was. It had something to do on one of the surf trips. Somebody, pushed the boundaries just a little too far. I forget what it was.
So this would be pushing the memory way back, but since you both remembered Mr. Schumann, and I know we've talked about this, you had the same guy. Did you have a history professor there by the name of Lee Lively?
Yes.
Mr. Lively was an interesting fellow. I really enjoyed him as a teacher.
He used to say,
I'm thinking
right here all the time.
Yeah, and remember the 44 BC? Yeah, with the trigger pull for the assassination
I am not picturing who you're talking about. I know the name, but I keep conflating him with Professor Blake. Remember that guy?
I don't remember him, no. I remember the name, but I never had him.
He was the teacher of my freshman year. I was in some stupid frickin' AP physics class, and it was the most, literally, I would walk into this class terrified every day because there's no way I wasn't going to fall asleep. And there's no way he wasn't going to scream at me about falling asleep every damn day. It was like, oh my God.
And as boring as it was, the terror of that on a daily basis wasn't enough to keep you awake, just knowing it was going to happen.
Because it was so boring. Dude, first of all, it was one of the rooms with the, the lighting, the fluorescent lighting. And he had this monotone, droney voice. And it was I learned how to sleep like this, like with your eyes kind of open. It was like, it's just staying awake in that class was the biggest chore that I can remember in high school. That was the hardest part of high school, staying awake in that
Right.
stupid
The
class.
thing I learned from Lively's class was that as annoying as it may be, repetition does work. If you say the same thing, follow Rome 410, 476. I'll never forget the two years that Rome fell because of the way he did it. Yeah, he was
Well,
really
you're talking
good
to
at
two
it.
musicians, so yeah, repetition
does matter.
It
You
definitely
came
works.
closest to Dreyfus School of the Arts, which we all wish we could have gone to instead of Twin Lakes.
Yeah, I did come close. I was there. That was the last year before they moved it out to, like, I think it's out on 45th Street, and now it's called Palm Beach Lakes Community High.
Yeah.
And that's also when it went from being what I consider a high school to what I consider a modern prison. The metal detectors and the gates and everything. I mean, when I was there, and I'm sure this is true for you guys because you were there first, but it was way more like what I would think of a college campus. Like, you could walk off campus for lunch.
No fences.
There were no fences. We used to go to Russo's or McDonald's for lunch, and we'd walk a few blocks away from campus and then walk back or not and take the rest of the day off. But yeah, you never felt like you were locked in the place at all. Even the parking lot didn't even have a chain across the driveway. Right. You could go get in your car in the middle of the day and just leave school. If you had one. Yeah. Or you could just steal Schumann's car and do it.
Yeah. And an history-related story, my senior year, I only needed like 1 credit. So I took like 3 classes. All right, but my first class of the day was Mr. White. Remember Mr. White? Yeah. He was kind of like Schumann, kind of young. And it was funny because he was teaching a calculus class.
Science, bitch.
Yeah. He was teaching a calculus class that he was literally a chapter ahead of us. He was learning the calculus as he was teaching it to us.
Well, at least it was fresh.
What's that?
In his mind. It was fresh in his mind.
Absolutely.
Probably actually made him better at it.
Absolutely. But that was my first class of the day, but it wasn't until like 3rd or 4th period. And back those days, I don't know if you remember, we used to have like an activity day. And it was like every 3rd Wednesday or whatever. It was just too hard to keep track of. So at least once a week, I was late to class. I would just walk in, it's activity day. Damn it. Every time I'd be like, class had to be half over when I showed up. Like, damn it. And I failed that class. That was the only class I failed in high school.
Did you know my brother in high school?
Yeah. I mean, we were like huge friends. We ran in a bunch of the same circles. Yeah. You know, what's funny is I actually would see your brother all the time because I used to go, my mom was a member of the credit union where he was working. Okay. Yeah. And that is the worst credit union I've ever dealt with in my life. And I'm sure he has nothing to do with it. I'm sure Ted's great. But man, that place, I mean, before he even worked there, I had an account there once years and years ago. And I went there, I put money in my account, wrote a check. They bounced the check because they put the money in the wrong account and then forced me to told me I had to pay the penalty. And I'm like, no, this is not how banking works. Give me all my money. And I never did any business with them ever again until finally my mom was doing business with them because she was a county employee or whatever. So that was her credit union. And so I tried to give them another chance. I had a business. I'd started the crane business.
It's Palm Beach County Credit Union, right?
It's called Guardians now.
Oh,
yeah, Guardians.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was a member of that credit union too, and you're right. They do suck.
Yeah, they're horrible. But anyway, so I started this business, I started a new account, basically what it was, and I wanted a debit card. And I kept saying, well, you're going to send me a debit card, right? And they're like, oh, yeah, we're going to send you one. And it took them like 6 months to send me a debit card, which finally I got it like, oh, okay, finally. Then I got a debit card every week in the mail for another 6 months, a new one. I'm like, what's wrong with these idiots? It's like, it was crazy. It was like, I've never seen more incompetent, just bureaucratic incompetency. It was crazy.
My little Guardians credit union story was when I moved out of Palm Beach County, I had money in that account, and I just wanted them to transfer it to the new bank where I moved, which was in Gainesville, and they were incapable, even with an agent from them and an agent in Gainesville on the phone with each other. They were still incapable of doing it. I had to drive 300 miles back to West Palm Beach, stand in line to receive a cashier's check, to take the check physically back to Gainesville and deposit it.
Well, the good news is I don't believe Ted works at Guardian anymore, right?
He does not. Yeah. And in their defense, there's a certain gentleman who owns a golf course right adjacent, and they were the only business that didn't take his offer to buy. So the golf course kind of has to jut around Guardian's credit.
Yeah. I used to grow weed back there.
I used to ride dirt bikes back there.
Yeah. And it's funny, the only way I could get my pot plants back there is do you remember when I had the postal Jeep?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing, because to get back to where I got, you had to drive over this big berm that any other vehicle would have centered out.
Yeah.
You know, and this short wheelbase little mail Jeep that I had, I was like, okay.
The
I'll
reason
get
I
place
rode
back
my
there.
bike back there was because if you even started this thing in a residential area, it was a countdown for the police to arrive because it was a straight pipe. It had no muffler at all. It was as loud as an airplane. It was a Hodaka 1969 Super Rat. That thing was ungodly loud, but it was fun to ride.
Yeah, those are fun.
I still have an account at Guardian, so
Oh yeah,
I'm sure they've gotten much better.
I don't know, man. Place was just so bad. I dreaded going there. It was so horrible.
I mean, there's no such thing as a good one. All banks and credit unions have their issues.
Truthfully, I think your best bet is to go with a small local bank. That's the best thing you can do. And as I say that, I started an account with Seacoast, which is a small local bank, and I was really happy because the lady that opened my account, I knew her name and everything, and it was like, all right, if I go to this bank, I know somebody. And guess who I ran into at the Bamboo Room the other day is the lady from the bank, and she's like, oh yeah, I don't work there anymore. Damn it!
I'm still using a credit union, but I got a pretty good one now. The theft protection thing is pretty good. They're pretty good about that, and they're also really cool. Like I can just pop in there or call them and say, hey, I'm going to be in North Carolina for the next 4 or 5 days, and that way I won't. If I try to use my card in North Carolina, I won't immediately get hey, somebody's trying to steal your money. So,
oh wow, yeah. So you have to warn them. You
don't have to warn them.
I'm a cash
but
guy,
they will call you. But if you don't answer that call to tell them, yeah, I just made that charge, then they will, deactivate your card. You got to call them back. If it's not business hours, it's a pain in the ass. So I just give them a heads up. I'm going to be out of town.
Credit cards. Refuse to use them.
I only have one. It's more than enough.
It's a debit card, so it's not a credit card.
Well, that's what I have too. Is a debit.
So.
Yeah. And the thing is, I really should have a credit card because I am worried about getting scammed. And at least with a credit card, you never have to pay. If you get they take a bunch of money from MasterCard or whatever, they just eat it. They don't make you pay it. So
is this what you guys normally talk about?
Anything.
We talk about whatever.
High school,
high school. Yeah. I was just going to bring up high school and ask if you. Because Chip told me that did you write for RAG?
I did. Yeah.
And did you get into? Did you do any writing in Twin Lakes and the Twin Lakes newsletter? Is that what got you started?
Yeah, the newspaper.
Cool.
That was our yearbook, right? The Kaleidoscope. No, or is it a paper?
That was I think it was a weekly paper.
Oh, okay. Wasn't the yearbook called Kaleidoscope
Aquarian
or something? Oh, that's right. Aquarium. I knew it was some kind of weird thing like that. Yeah.
If I remember correctly, Twin Lakes had a pretty good extracurricular, as much as people dismay the public school system nowadays, and of course it does seem to be getting a lot worse, but I mean, we had a nationally ranked debate team. I remember I took Latin when I went to Twin Lakes, and they still had, you could still take Latin and shop class and go to Wake Forest.
Yeah, I went to shop.
That's a pretty decent school, I would say.
Barry Mann and Karen Parrish were both on the debate team and both went to states and placed like first and second.
Yeah.
Now, were you ever in band in high school?
No.
I was going to say I was in high school band. I didn't remember. Did you play back then?
I had just started playing at around the time I graduated high school.
Right, and just self-taught?
Yeah, I should have started earlier. Wish I had. But.
What's that, taking lessons?
I did take lessons from Harris Johnson, great jazz drummer. He's deceased. He died about 2007.
And do you think you got anything out of lessons?
Yeah.
What do they teach you, like exercises to like help like separation and stuff like that?
He
or
taught me to read a little bit, and he would trade fours with me, which was always fun because he played with a guitarist named Scott Henderson.
I've heard of him.
He's gone to L.A. and played.
Yeah, I think Siciliano talks about him a lot. I think. Yeah.
He should. He went to L.A. and played with Chick Corea and Joe Zawinul and Joe Ponte.
Now, reading music on drums is interesting to me because, I mean, when you look at the staff, that they don't represent notes, but which drum to hit, right?
Correct.
And then other than that, all you got to do is figure out the rhythms.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You make it sound easy.
Well, comparatively, because when you're playing an instrument, you got to not only have the rhythm, but you got to figure out what what the notes are.
Right. Yeah, it's a different.
But it's still reading something off a piece of paper, which is kind of hard, especially when it's like, here's the time. You got to get it right on this time.
Yeah, it either comes to you easily or not, and it really.
Yeah, that's true. Especially with drums, I agree.
I've been self-taught, and I didn't really take to reading.
I got to say, of all the drummers I've experienced, there is something where, like, all right, that guy's got it, that guy doesn't. I mean, there's some guys who's just like, you should not be playing drums. And there's this one guy, he'll remain nameless, even though he's kind of a douche. But I was in this band I was sitting in with this guy in a band, and you know the song, You Gotta Fight, done up for your right. All right, the bass part in that is da 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 da. That's the bass part. That's all you got to do. Playing it with this guy, the bass part was da 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 da. It was like Jesus Christ. Normally you can kind of take that song off, but this guy was like, I had to watch him to even try to stay in the same beat with him. It was like, good Lord.
For some drummers, time is a 4-letter word.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. And it's in a related story, we were just talking about this. I noticed in one of the other podcasts we were doing, I'm like Robert Klein. I can't stop my leg. And it was just like the whole thing. I'm sitting there with my leg is always tapping like that. But in my defense, whatever song is going through my head, I'm in perfect time with it. My timing is really
if only
good.
everybody else could hear the song.
You could put a metronome on my leg, though, and I guarantee you I'm right in time.
Everyone keeps perfect time inside their head.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's funny. But yeah, so you got the Cravens going on. What else you got going? See, you were some brass thing or Dylan thing?
The Cravens for
All
a
right.
minute first. This album was mastered by Andreas Mayo, a guy who has Grammy awards to his name. Sleeve design is by Regina Campbell, great local artist and graphic designer. And it was recorded by Guy Gualtieri. I was in a band with him in the mid-'90s called Numb.
I know that name.
He has his own home studio now. And
What was the name again?
Guy Gualtieri.
Oh, I'm thinking of Guy Fieri. That's what I heard. I was like, isn't he a famous chef?
Yes, he is. Don't confuse that guy with Guy Gualtieri. So,
And you got like what, 5 or 6 CDs out? 5?
5, 4 studio, 1 live, recorded right across the walkway at the Funky Biscuit.
Right.
About 3 years ago.
And how long has this band been around? You guys been around for a while, right?
Started in 2014 as a 3-piece, and myself and bassist Dennis Ambrose joined around 2016, and we've been together ever since.
Yeah, 9 or 10 years. That's a good run. I think the most I've ever made it with a band is like 3 years. And it's just like it just fizzles out or something happens.
The
or something.
average length I've found is usually about 18 months.
Yeah, it's true. So, yeah, you got a good thing going there. We're going that long.
Yeah, good band, all original. I also play with Big Brass Bed. That band is 23 years old now.
Oh, wow.
Rod McDonald is the lead singer. He was a pretty big name in the Greenwich Village.
All right, can you tell, do you know what he's talking about when he says, what is something brass bed?
Big Brass Bed?
I do not.
It's from the Bob Dylan song, Lay.
Oh, Lay Lady Lay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was like,
I mean, I know that. I didn't know that's where you pulled it from, but yes, it would come and lay across my big brass bed.
Right.
Yeah,
that's what I was like a brass.
Until the
I
break
thought he
of
was talking
day,
about a
we'll make
Chicago
you stand, smile,
tribute
yeah.
or something like. Oh, Dylan. Okay.
We play every year. We play at the Funky Biscuit to celebrate Bob Dylan's birthday, and we play. Occasionally play at Rudy's or the Bamboo Room in Lake Worth. Or
that's awesome.
Brew House Gallery up in Lake Park. Nice room.
And so when is Bob Dylan's birthday?
I don't know the exact date. It's
Well, you do it every year, don't you?
yeah, but it's we play on whatever Wednesday.
Oh, okay. You just approximate
in honor of. Yeah,
Gotcha.
Around anywhere from May 18th to 24th, somewhere in there. He just
Somewhere
turned
there.
84. I know that. So
I saw him do an interview, and I think it's an older interview, but somebody asked him about it. There's some of the albums in his youth when he first started writing them, and he openly admits he doesn't know how he goes, I can't do that anymore. He can't write songs like that anymore. And when they asked him how he did it then, he goes, I don't know. I was just a conduit, something, you know what I mean? There might be that up to it as well. But yeah,
Okay,
it was just an amazingly prolific period there where it was just coming to him, just flowing through him.
Well, a lot of musicians, like what's the bass player from Bob Marley used to say that when they had asked him, well, how do you come up with it? He goes, I don't do anything. I just sit there and it just flows through me, like it's jaw flowing through me, And apparently a lot of people, and that's not a bad way to approach like being creative. Is just totally don't think about it,
it's the most
I mean, I'm not a
way.
musician, and I can somehow envision how that, but it's really hard for me to envision how lyrics just flow through you like that, how you would just just
Dude,
poetry.
watch some of those
essentially,
guys
with the
that
music.
do. Watch some of those guys that do impromptu rap stuff.
Freestyle rapping.
Freestyle rapping. I'm like, wow.
Look, I'm not
that's
going to
like,
compare
that's amazing.
freestyle rap to early Bob Dylan. I'm just not going to do it.
Well, but it's the same flow.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of flow.
It's
Though.
the flow. I agree with that.
was on Dave Chappelle's show once, and he was riding in the car with Chappelle driving.
I remember that episode.
And he freestyle rapped for about 10 straight minutes and didn't miss anything.
I loved him in Hitchhiker's Guide. I thought he was the perfect person to play Ford Prefect.
Yeah, he was good.
And
he was
played
good.
Chuck Berry in another movie. I can't remember what it was called. But
Oh yeah, yes, right. I can picture that, but I don't know what movie you're talking about either. Have you seen the Bob Dylan movie?
Yep.
Hey, you think it's any good?
It's good.
Wait, is that the one where he's a monkey, like a CGI ape or something? Or am I completely confusing?
No, there's a brand new.
Okay. Did they
like a
recently do a
biopic.
biopic of something, but they like made the character like an animal instead? Or am I thinking of
You know what
something
he's
else? Maybe it wasn't the Dylan bio, but I'll have to do research and bring it up on the next pod and talk about it.
Better drugs at Twin Lakes than we did.
I didn't take them when I was there, but after class, yeah.
He
Remember
is
the wall at
practically
Twin
a
Lakes?
pharmacist, I got to say.
He used to sit on the wall at Twin Lakes, and cliques existed in that high school, but they all blended together. Like the AP kids were hanging out on the wall with the stoners.
I was a clique surfer for sure, man. I was in at least 4 different cliques. Hang out with the surfers, the Palm Beach kids,
Whichever one would have you.
Yeah.
There's a picture of me on the wall with my friend Mike McLaren, R.I.P., in one of the yearbooks. I think it was my senior year.
Right, sitting on the wall in the yearbook, yeah.
I think I know.
I think the only picture of me in any of the
The
yearbooks
name
is
sounds very familiar.
He
was real tight with Schumann, right?
I think so. He
think
did a
I
lot
know-
of social work.
I think I know him.
Yeah, that name sounds familiar, yeah.
He died about 3 years back.
Oh, that sucks. It's unfortunate.
Merkel cell carcinoma and ended up having a stroke. And it's too bad he was only 62, I think.
Did you ever know Mark Williams when he was in the Schumann crowd?
I don't remember that now.
Real rich kid. His parents passed away and he inherited a bunch of money. And then, Schumann helped him deal with, like growing up. He's passed away too. I think he took his own life even, but he was an interesting fellow. That was my brother-in-law ran in his circle. That's how
I think
knew
I
him.
might know that guy. If I saw a picture, if it's the same guy I'm thinking of. Did he live in Palm Beach, real rich kid?
Yes, yeah. He was also like, he kind of created like a chapter of skinheads in Palm Beach County.
Okay,
back
that's
then
not
in
the guy I'm
day.
thinking of. Not the guy I'm thinking of
He was
at
a
all.
troubled youth for sure,
Yeah.
Got a little better later on in life, but
Interesting.
definitely had some issues back then.
Now, I remember this one kid, I must remember the guy's name, but for whatever reason, he was having a party at his house. A bunch of us went over to his house, and he lived like literally right on the ocean in Palm Beach in some freaking mansion. And it was like, holy but Jesus. To see this kid at school, you'd have no idea.
Yeah,
Like,
I went
oh
to a
my
couple of
God.
parties like that where,
Right?
Yeah. It's
Well,
insane.
that was the interesting dynamic of Twin Lakes. You had rednecks from Loxahatchee, rich kids from Palm Beach, black kids from inner city. I mean, you just had so many, plus, normal people like us, middle class, all mixed together.
we like to think of ourselves as, but
well,
yes.
yeah,
Abnormal, maybe. But
Yeah, but I mean, we're typical white middle class people. We're not rednecks. We're not Palm Beachers. We're not,
But yeah,
we're white.
you had kids that were, a student lunch program, and then you also had kids that were driving brand new cars they were paid for that lived on the island whose parents were like, no, you have to go to
Although,
public school.
I gotta say, all the rich kids that went to Twin Lakes, I don't think they were allowed to be rich or to be that extravagant. I think that's kind of because I never really, of all the rich kids, don't remember anybody really being that extravagantly like, oh, I'm rich. And,
Other than the cars, I don't remember like there was no
I don't even remember
flaunting of the wealth.
Truthfully, the guy that had the nicest car in school for me was a guy who lived right down the street. He ended up playing drums. God, what the hell's the guy's name? But he had a really nice '69 Camaro. That was a badass car. What the hell was his name? Oh God, I'm so bad with names. He used to play drums for a band a funk band. What was that big funk band that used to play at Abaco's all the time? Back in like the late '90s.
not the groove things.
Might have been the Groove. Oh God, what the? His name is like on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, it'll come to me later when I don't think about it. Alan Arkin, by the way, is the other guy from
Yeah, I know,
episode.
yeah.
Like there was an episode where I was trying to think of the actor from Catch 22, and I kept saying Alan Alda. No, it's Alan Arkin.
Alan Alda, I think, still alive.
Yeah.
Alan Arkin is not.
That's true.
So does Rag as a publication, is that still around?
No,
Okay, and how long has it been gone?
Probably
a while.
30 years.
Oh, wow, that long. Okay.
The last piece I ever wrote for them, they had me write it under a pen name. because I was writing for other publications, and they used that as an excuse not to pay me. So,
Oh,
hi guys, I haven't
nice.
forgotten.
Right.
And so, like, the rag used to be the way that musicians would connect to, like, put bands together and stuff.
Classified ads. Yeah.
So what took over
Yeah, we
after
should explain
that?
to
Was it
the
Craigslist
listeners
or
what the
something that we
rag
just
is?
started using, or
Yeah,
there was
internet.
another publication after that, though, wasn't there? Kind of like the rag?
Not with the same classified success.
No, yeah, probably not.
No, it pretty much became internet after that.
Yeah, I was going to say probably Craigslist. And Craigslist, I guess people still go on there, but Craigslist used to be hilarious to look for, look for people to play in a band with, because there were all these characters that were just on there all the time. Do you remember Bozo? You ever run into Bozo on Craigslist?
Thankfully
There was this one guy that lived on the musical section of Craigslist of looking for other musicians, and his name was Bozo, and he would just post this crazy stuff. It was hilarious. It was almost worth looking just to watch what this guy was posting, not, even if you weren't looking to be in a band.
Well, mid '90s, I was writing for CityLink. It was like the alternative paper for the Sun Sentinel, and since around 2001, I started a local music column in the Palm Beach Post, which ran for about 15 years. I still do the occasional high school sports story for them, but ever since 2001, I've been writing for Jazz Is. It's like an international jazz glossy.
Oh.
We've just gone completely online. It used to be a print publication. It was monthly, then it went to quarterly, and now we're online only. But pretty much made it a daily publication.
I had a buddy that wrote for the sports department in the Palm Beach Post, and then he went on to work for CBS Sports Online. I'm not sure what he does now, but it's Kerouac Smith. I don't know if you remember his name or not.
But you forget that.
Yeah, well, it's hard to remember that name. He lives in Columbus, Ohio now.
Did you ever deal with Rodney Mayo and write for any of his publications, any of that stuff?
I did I've written a few stories for Closer.
Gotcha.
His magazine.
That's one of his.
Yeah.
That's his.
He's got a bunch of different publications, right? Or is it just one magazine, a bunch of
Definitely has a bunch of different nightclubs and restaurants.
Well, yeah.
I don't think
he's only got the one.
He's affiliated with Steve Rollman, who has Pure Honey magazine. So
Oh, gotcha. And that's just about the Honey Club, right? Basically. Oh, no?
it's like a local music. It's definitely a local music rag. It's monthly, and
Oh, I had no idea.
I haven't written for them, but they cover kind of the younger, respectable street.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's their audience for sure.
Yeah. And he has, Steve Rollman has a festival every year in September. What's it called? Pure Honey is the magazine.
They do it at Respectables or something?
Respectable, along Clematis Street. At
Okay, gotcha,
Like 5
gotcha.
or 6 different venues. So the name will come to me before.
Yeah, we're trying to kind of lightly corral Rodney as maybe being a
Trying to get him-
sponsor.
We're trying to get him to come on. He's just such a busy man,
Good
and
luck with that.
and
He-
plus, if the only way we could possibly get him is for the last appointment available in the studio on a Wednesday, like 7:00 or something.
Maybe if he wants to run for mayor again, we can get him on.
Right? Mayo for mayor. Yeah.
He doesn't do a lot of publicity.
The signs write themselves. You just put his name and then you put an R in parentheses after. It's perfect.
Mayor.
Rodney.
Bumblefest. That's Steve Rollman's.
There you go. Came to
annual
you.
festival. Yeah. Thank
So you ever played Respectables?
I did.
I've never played that place.
I was.
But you're an original. You do a lot of original stuff. So
I
yeah.
was in a band called Numb in 1997. We opened for Jason Bonham's band there.
That sounds electronic. Numb. Was it like?
No, we were primarily a cover band, although we all sang lead and backing vocals, and we all wrote songs for the band. But kind of alternative rock. We were doing a lot of crazy stuff for that era. Tool.
But it was guitar based, not keyboards.
Correct.
I got
We
you.
did Rage
Numb
Against the
sounds like it'd be
Machine
like
Primus and Chili
Gotcha.
Peppers. And
that sounds vaguely familiar. Like I've probably heard of that name in that band. Yeah, I've never played Respectable Streets. Of course,
Well,
I've always been in cover bands
when we
mostly.
played there as the opening act, it was like a half-hour set, and it was
Right.
nothing but feedback. So it wasn't,
And who are you opening for?
not a great experience. Jason Bonham.
Oh. Did they sound any better?
No, of course.
Oh yeah.
It was probably their sound man.
Yeah.
Sabotaging us.
What is the point of that? I don't get that whole.
Look, if you can't make one of your guys sound better, you can make the other guys sound worse.
Well, I don't mind them not making it the opening act better, but don't make them horrible. What's the point of that?
I've seen it happen at the Hollywood Sportatorium.
Oh yeah.
Aerosmith was there, and there was a group from Georgia, dangerous opening act called Mother's Finest. They were like Sly and the Family Stone on steroids.
Right. I've heard of
White
that.
and black, male and female, funk rock. And I heard Steven Tyler was in the back pulling cables out of the sound system.
Well,
So
yeah, I guess if they're just really kicking your ass, I could see, these guys are way better than us.
Ass. Aerosmith back then made great albums, but were terrible live.
Oh my God.
Now they make terrible albums. And they're good live, so.
Well, they're not live anymore, but yeah, I remember I went to see, and this was a super concert. It was, and nobody knew who half these people were. Concert opened up with Bryan Adams, or no, I'm sorry, Sammy Hagar, then Bryan Adams, then Aerosmith, and they came out, and while they were on stage, somebody brought out a fifth of Jack Daniels, which got consumed while they were on stage. It was empty by the end of the set, and they sounded like it. They were terrible. And then after that was Journey. And Journey was good, but at that point, it was me and a buddy of mine. It was me and Tracy, actually. And we'd gone with a couple of chicks, and by that time, these chicks were tired. We had to go sit it was at the baseball stadium, the Miami baseball stadium. Yeah. And we had to go sit in the stadium seats for the Journey, and it was like, I don't know if you ever done it, but it's like you hear them once, and then you hear them again. As it echoes off, it's like, this sucks. But back in those days, that was like a super concert.
There were a lot of them back then.
And that's like, I think Sammy Hagar just come out with 3 Lock Box. That was his big hit. And it was like, oh, yeah, let's go see that guy. Sammy Hagar, he sounds cool. And Bryan Adams was kind of already established. But, they don't make concerts like that anymore.
Best concert I ever went to with you, by far, was Pink Floyd in the Orange Bowl.
Is that the one we all went to?
Yes, that's the one we all went to. We rented a van, we had a pony keg in the van. Everybody was on acid.
Yeah, I was going to say, we were all tripping pretty hard on that one.
Down there.
That was one of the hardest trips I've ever taken.
That was the incident with Mike Pasco and I with the hot dog vendor, where we went to get hot dogs. And as we're trying to buy the hot dogs, this guy the hot dog vendor starts getting harassed by a local Miami cop. The two of them are arguing with each other in Spanish completely. It was too fast for me to understand. I spoke a little bit. It was too fast. I couldn't get it. So finally, the crux of the matter was that the guy didn't have a business license. And so the cop told him he was going to be back in 15 minutes or whatever. They could show him the license. The guy said he had it at home. So he turns to Mike and I, total strangers who are tripping our asses off, and asks us, will we watch the cart for him while he runs around the corner? We're like, yeah, sure, absolutely. So he goes around the corner and we just start grabbing everything out of the cart. So we run away from that cart with like armfuls of hot dogs and hot dog buns and condiments, but we have no way of cooking any of this because all we have is a van and a keg. So
this is when it was raining, right?
Lightly. But there were people tailgating and there were people with grills. So we just approached people with grills and bartered. We'll give you, if you let us cook some hot dogs, you can have the rest of the hot dogs.
And this is the one that was right near Halloween, right? Yeah. We were wearing the masks,
we were wearing presidential masks, like Point Break. Yeah, and I'll never forget that. I will forget because I can't remember who did it, but somebody, one of the group, at the end of the concert, got out, had a security vest, and with either the Nixon or the Reagan mask, proceeded to block traffic and wave us out so that we could get our van out and cut through all the traffic, and we got right out of there.
I don't think that was me, but at one point I remember I was wearing both masks. I had the Reagan was in the front, and then you put the Nixon would be on the back, looking out the back. So it had to be the other way around. The Nixon was in the front, and the Reagan would be, because I remember walking up into the stands, and people thought it was great that I had that mask on. So I'm like, I got the Nixon, and I'm like, and then I'd turn around and go, well. That was hilarious.
I remember the stage show, too. They launched, it was like a cannon or something, and it launched a pig, like a neon pink pig that then went flying up out of the stadium and like disappeared into the horizon. It was pretty cool.
Been the Animals tour then.
I think so, yeah. I want to say it was in 89.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Well, Animals was way before that, but this was
it was. They did Pigs for their tour for a long time, but yeah, no, it wasn't Animals. But
this was David Gilmour, not Roger Waters was gone by then.
I think so. I think so. Man, the most thing I remember about that, because we had nosebleed seats,
Yeah.
like in the Orange Bowl.
We were all over.
And I
the
remember
place.
tripping
I remember
balls,
standing
and
in
it's
the
lightly
seats.
raining, but the place is still packed. And I remember while they're singing, "Hey, teacher," please, just looking at the crowd and like 100,000 people just doing all this in unison, just all like in this light rain. It was just like, wow, I'm tripping hard.
There were probably a lot more than 4 people on stage because
yeah. I
I've
think
seen footage of Gilmore leading Pink Floyd, and it's like 9 or 10 people, 3 keyboard players, backup singers, drummer, percussionists.
You seen their I guess it's endorsed by them too, but Brit Floyd, their cover.
Yeah, those guys are good. Those guys
I've seen those guys like, well, not live, but I've seen videos of them at Red Rocks, and they're pretty amazing. I think
they sound just like them.
Right now, if somebody offered me tickets to go see them or the surviving members, I think I would go see Brit Floyd. I think you'd have a better show.
Well, it's funny. I think I already told this story, but I went and saw Foreigner once, and it's like, what's his name? Mick, what's his name? Wasn't even there. So I basically saw a Foreigner tribute, and they were great. I mean,
You're talking about Lou Graham.
yeah. No, not Lou Graham. The only guy that's still left in the band, Mick.
Ralph?
Huh?
Is it Ralph's or?
No, it's Mick something. Mick.
I got a blank.
He's the guitar player guy. He's the only.
Only original guy left.
Yeah, and he was out that night, so it was like, all right, so we're watching a Foreigner band with nobody from Foreigner in it. It was like,
It was a tribute to itself.
yeah.
There's a lot of bands like that, right?
And did you know that if you like pull up an old Foreigner tune, like on YouTube or whatever, they re-recorded all of it down a half step.
I've made fun of them for that.
Oh, there, yeah,
In print.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Ship a Theseus argument.
Why-
At what
why
point
do
is
you-
it still
now,
the same band?
why do you make fun of them? What do you think the problem is?
Because it's literally is a tribute to their old catalog.
Okay, all right,
They're
but
making money off of it, and I'm getting a little over the tribute act. Since.
oh, I see what you're saying, because it's less authentic. I thought you had a problem with them dropping the key or something, maybe.
That's another problem.
Well, here's where I would push back on that. I think that key just sounds better. And there's a lot of scientific data that actually backs that up.
Do
And
you think the new renditions sound better than the originals?
they could. I mean, if you probably listen to them side by side, I mean, just as far as, I mean, not as far as like the performance, but I mean, just here's the thing. The instruments just ring out longer. The harmonics are better in that frequency. In that respect, it might be better, but the performance itself, no. I mean, it's not Foreigner and it's not Lou Graham. So, yeah.
Well, Chris Frazier is the drummer on their more up-to-date stuff, and he's great. He played with Steve Vai for a while.
And their bass player is the guy from Crocus or something like that. He's real good. Or what's the name? He was in some big band. He's good too.
Yeah, one of the keyboard players was in another band too.
You know, one of the keyboard players, I swear he looked like this guy that used to be in a band called Signal Fire back in the day. You remember that band?
I remember the
Nate
name.
something was the drummer, but they had a keyboard player dude that I swear when I saw them, I was like, man, is that same guy? Because it looks just like him.
No, it could be.
It could.
I mean, I saw a group. There was a group used to play down here a lot called Gypsy Queen.
Oh, yeah.
Mars Cowling was playing bass with them. And I said, what happened? You were with Pat Travers. And he goes, I got fired, man. I can't fucking believe it.
Right? Yeah, it happens. Hey, you know who Zoltan is, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you know the Unchained guys?
The Van Halen.
Yeah. He
I've
plays
seen
with them sometimes.
I saw him with them. He was,
I almost went just to see Sultan. You don't know where he is.
No.
He's amazing.
I thought Zoltan was the name of the automated
It is, but it is.
fortune teller machine
while
in
he's
Big.
playing, he'll put his left foot up on top of his hi-hat.
Yeah, he plays the drums with his feet and his hands. At this, and the thing is, he's what, like 6'5", 6'4", or
he's
something
tall.
like that. And he's just this big gangly arms and legs, and that's all you see is legs and arms. He literally like plays the hi-hat with his foot.
But the guy who played David Lee Roth, he had, of course, the skin-tight trousers and no shirt.
Eugene, yeah.
But he had a back brace on.
Oh,
It was not a good look.
that's hard to have that whole suspension of
But
disbelief there.
I'll tell you what, though, in that guy's defense, he does jump around and do the splits and do all that stuff that Dave Roth used to do. So, and he's no spring chicken.
remember
I
not,
couldn't do anything near that.
For the most part, they had the sound down.
Yeah, oh yeah, they're great. And dude, I mean, I know their bass player. I used to play with that guy in a Foreigner tribute that I was trying to put together, and he used to come out and sing. It was supposed to be Don from DC was going to be the singer, but Clint, the bass player, would come and sing the Foreigner. I'm like, dude, you can sing that high?
You can do the Michael Anthony part.
Exactly. That makes him perfect for that gig. I'm like, wow, if you find somebody to do, and do you know what happened to the guy that played before him? The guy died. And he was apparently even better singer. He used to get up there and sing. He would get up and sing the Hagar stuff, which apparently is even higher than David Lee Roth. But apparently that guy just up and died or something. I was like, holy shit. He was good. He was really good. But yeah, Clint's good at that gig. That's a great band. That's one of the better tribute bands I've seen around. I mean, if you can stand tributes, but they are good.
A lot of money in tribute acts right now.
Well, I think it's kind of waning a little bit. It's not what it used to be, I don't think. But and the like a lot of the places that would pay the big money for the tributes now are kind of gone, and now there's like Sharky's, which I've never been there. It seems like it's a great club, but how do they generate enough money to pay the tribute bands what they used to get? I don't know what they're getting paid there, but it just doesn't look like they could make that much money.
Well, as long as there's people willing to pay the ticket price. I mean, there's tribute acts playing at the Funky Biscuit charging $40 and they sell out.
But you got to pay to get into there. Do you have to pay to get into Sharky's?
I don't know.
I don't know that either. That would be the question to find out. But yeah, see, that's what I don't understand. I mean, if you're paying a band X amount, you got to be able to make at least more than that, or else
It's been so long since I've gone to bars and clubs that do places still do cover charges, or is that just in big cities?
Not many. I mean, Funky Biscuit does, but I mean that's. Boca Black Box, I'm sure they, those kind of places all charge at the door.
Those are ticketed shows. So I know at Bamboo Room for our CD
Bamboo Room
we're charging $5 cover, so just so we can get paid.
Yeah, and it was funny. We were talking about a gig there before, and I was trying to do the math with the guys when they were telling me we were going to do a gig there, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're going to make $10 at the door," and I'm like, "So how many people is that hold?" All right, so if the place only holds 200 people at 10, okay, it's like, and we're not going to have that many people there, so
200 is pushing it.
Yeah, exactly, and it's like, all right, so how much money can we possibly make? Anyway,
I forgot to mention, albums available at www.cravenmusic.net on all streaming services, and if you can make it to the release party, we'll have physical copies there too.
There is a release party on the 27th, but I doubt this will be released before your release party.
Yeah, probably not. But we will put all that information in the description. Yeah. The link will be in the description. So
if it doesn't, we will have had a great time.
Oh, so this is that new? You're just having the release party?
Correct.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know figured this was an older thing. Do we get to keep this one?
Of course.
Sweet. Put this in my Jeep. Check it out.
I was going to say we'd listen to it on the way back from the studio, but I don't think there's no way to listen to it in my car.
He asked me if I had a CD player, and I had to think about it. I'm like, oh yeah, I got one in my Jeep now.
Right?
It's like that's the only place I have to play.
My computer doesn't even have a disk drive in it.
Mine doesn't either.
No, new computers
my laptop
don't.
does.
Yeah. Oh yeah, laptops usually.
But that thing, I don't know if that would work. Truthfully, my laptop took a whole cup of coffee to the keyboard not too long ago, and miraculously, it still works. I don't know how, but
for now, yeah.
No, I mean, literally, it's been like a month or two now, and it's like I turn it on and
it was a cat accident, wasn't it?
What's that?
The cat do that?
No, it was me. No, it was a stupid dude. It was because I used to religiously just drink out of a solo cup. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I ain't doing dishes. So sure enough, what happens is I use the same solo cup after, a couple of times in a row. But apparently, I guess the heat makes it brittle or something from the coffee.
You've probably been drinking plastic too for a while, but
yeah, probably. But anyway, as I was walking to the cup just disintegrated right over it. It's just like, oh crap.
I think I just remembered something else. I think Foreigner's guitarist is Mick Jones.
Mick Jones, that's right.
That does sound right.
That's it.
All right. Early Mick Alzheimer's Jones. Be damned.
Hey, you remembered it before the end of the episode. That's pretty good. It usually takes us a week or two.
I would accept no less, actually.
I want to say the kid's name was Massey, but I'm not sure if that was it.
That's the air conditioning people.
God, I wish I could remember that guy's name. And he turned out to be a really good drummer, too. Anyway. How much time we got?
Yeah, we got a couple minutes left.
I was going to say, I haven't used my catchphrase, and
we're getting there
in a bunch of episodes. Oh yeah, there's a time over there, isn't there? Yeah, we got plenty of time. So what else do we have to talk about? So did you watch the Tucker Carlson what's
Ted
it?
Cruz.
Ted Cruz interview the other day? Oh my God,
Heard about it.
it's insanely hilarious. I mean, if you can avoid pulling your hair out, it's kind of funny. It's so crazy.
It's not worth losing hair over, actually.
No, or just look at it as performance art.
Yeah, really.
They're both just trying to be as outrageous as possible to
That's
garner
what
an audience.
politics
They
have
go on
become.
each other's shows, so they're cross promoting it, and it's
Let's
jackassery.
Let's just ask you this: do you believe that the Iranians have been trying to kill President Trump for 2 years? No.
Yeah.
There's no way. That's just so ridiculous that they try to claim that now. It's like, okay. And of course, Tucker's response is, well, then let's nuke them. What? Wait, what?
Right? And then within 15 seconds, he literally says, well, I don't believe in killing anybody. She just advocated to nuke a whole city.
Which face are you talking out of, Tucker?
Exactly. Well, he openly says he won't get consistency from him, but you will get sincerity, which I don't even know what that means, but he did say it.
That's an oxymoron.
Exactly. As was a great deal of the show.
Yeah. That's
And
why I don't watch.
Yeah, well, it's just
It
amazing
was
to me.
homework for me. He made me do it.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
But the thing is, like, look, I like Tucker now. I mean, he's not so bad, but I'm not forgetting what an idiot he was. You know, it's like everybody else seems to like, oh yeah, Tucker's great. Well, you remember he was an idiot, right? For a
I
long
remember
time.
him wearing his bow tie and being a political commentator during the election with John Kerry. And the turnout was really high. And he said that can only mean one thing: Kerry is going to win. What a genius.
Oh yeah, the people that make who's that guy? He's that stock guy, Kramer.
Jim Cramer.
Yeah, oh God, this guy's
One of the
been
world's most
this guy's been
annoying
given
humans.
the worst advice for decades,
Yeah,
and still on the air, which is just beyond me.
I'm not familiar with who you're talking about.
He's just he's this financial guy. He does like financial segments or whatever. And basically, the last thing I remember him saying was, "Yes, AIG, buy AIG, buy it. It's going to be great." And literally within 2 weeks, they were like, "Well, AIG just went belly up." And
you could call him a talking head, but he's more of a yelling head. He yells at the camera. He's annoying.
And he's just wrong so much of the time. It's like, and truthfully, the first person I can remember for failing upward is Marcia Clark. Right? How do you not convict OJ and then get your own TV show?
Well, wrong is the new right.
What's that?
Wrong is the new right.
Yes. Yeah. Wrong is the new success story. I was wrong about this, so now give me a TV show.
Right. Or people will seek so much credit for admitting that they were wrong, as if that's such a unique position to take
Tucker
amongst humanity that people
gladly
haven't
says,
always done that. Like that's
I've
what
been
you're
wrong.
supposed to do as an adult when
And you get a
get
book
proven
deal,
wrong.
So
Yeah. Okay. Are we talking about Jake Tapper now? Yeah, that's hilarious.
there are plenty of people who've gotten book deals.
Never admitting you're wrong and never changing your opinion on anything is an insane thought to me. It shows no growth whatsoever as a human. Clearly, you can't possibly get everything right the very first time you think of it.
It's the new power.
The power of apology.
Yeah, of non-apology, actually.
We are in the age of information and no shame. Just pure raw info. Know whether it's true or not, who knows?
Alternative facts. That's what Kellyanne Conway called.
Selective facts, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, truth and law does both seem to be eroding at an exponential rate, unfortunately. A law, if and when it's chosen to be enforced,
It's a relative
if and when and where and how, only if people consider it popular at the time. I mean, just going back to the whole Patel on the Rogan thing, all right? The head of the FBI is being interviewed by a guy who less than 24 hours before that was doing mushrooms in the studio with his buddies in a city, all right, in a country where marijuana is considered illegal, and the state that he lives in also considers it illegal, but the city has decided that they're going to decriminalize it. So it's certain. I mean, why can't you just say, well, I own my house, so everything I want to do is legal in it? Like, it's a small enough area, and I'm the sovereign of that. I mean, it's just ridiculous the levels of, whether it is or isn't enforced, or whether the Supreme Court changes their mind about something, and now is something that was once legal the entirety of my life is now we're going to leave it up to the states. It's hard to pick and choose. What does law matter? What does it mean? It's not based on morality.
Speaking of that,
it's not based on justice. It's based on popular opinion in a certain area that's been influenced by money and tradition, and it's insane. It really truly is.
I was debating a guy on about Trump or whatever, and he starts railing about, because I'm clearly a libertarian or whatever. So he starts, you libertarian, blah, 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 blah. You haven't passed any legislation. And I'm like, yeah, that's the point of being a libertarian. We want a lot less of these stupid laws that have no victims. Yes, that your dig is exactly right on. We don't pass a bunch of useless legislation. And he thought he was making points with that. I'm like,
It was an unintended compliment.
yeah, absolutely. And I was like, yeah, well, and I had to explain to him, like, yeah, that's the whole point, dumbass. We don't want stupid laws that, I don't know. I'll stick to my guns and say, look, if there's no victim, there should be no law. In the future, the whole thing is that they're trying to, and this is what we're talking about with Iran. We're like, all right, we know they don't have the bomb, but we're gonna prosecute them for future crimes. Our precogs that we have back there are saying, I was talking to him about.
Oh yeah, you just brought this up.
I think the only reason they're getting Trump to even go along with this Iran thing, as much as he has, is they've convinced him that remote viewers are real, and they see in the future that Iran's going to blow something up with a nuclear bomb. I think that's the only way they've talked him into doing this.
Do you think they set him down and made him watch The Men Who Stare at Goats and told him it was a documentary?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
We're going to bring Swan in to talk to you now. And
The thing about laws is the good people don't need them and the bad people don't obey them. So.
Well, I mean, but the thing is, so many of the laws have nothing to do with anybody being bad or good. I mean, it's like, if there's no victim, what's the point? I mean, like I make a perfect example, like, all right, a speeding ticket. Yeah, it's not great to speed, but if you get away with it, nobody gets hurt. Why should you be punished? You're saying, oh, well, you might hurt somebody in the future. Well, now we're talking, precogs and future crimes. And
the theory behind it is that we're going to monetarily punish you for a behavior that has been statistically shown to lead to property damage and or human injury and or death. And we want to dissuade you from doing that. So.
And I would argue that the more effective way to do that is to wait till there's some kind of situation with victims and then either fine. Well, I don't think fine should be the thing. Throw them in jail.
In other words, make the penalty at that point so harsh that people would be terrified to commit
exactly.
And that's one way to go about it. If you look at in Western Europe in the medieval times, that is how they went about it, because there were no standing jails, standing police forces. So the majority of crimes would go unpunished. However, God help you if you were one of the ones that was punished. Then they would do some really heinous public shit to you, drawn and quartered or hung or what, something boiled in oil, something so hellish that it would dissuade other people from wanting to try to commit that crime. Yeah, most people wouldn't get caught,
That seems like more of a deterrent to me. Then, okay, I got caught. Now I got to pay $100 and something bucks.
Yeah, it's more cost effective to do it that way. I don't know if it's been proven to be more efficient or not.
The other thing that would fix our legal system really quickly is getting rid of fines. No fines. If you break the law, you go to jail. That's it. No fines.
Right. Well, any punishment based on fines is really just saying, can you afford to commit this crime? Like obviously that's the joke about the I-95 is that the left lane is for people who can afford it. Like if you're just going to be over there, you're going to go as fast as you damn well want. You're going to get a ticket eventually, but whatever. You got the money. They'll take your license, but
yeah, they don't even really bother too much anymore on the highway. You can go pretty fast.
It's like the Autobahn now.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there.
If only they would actually maintain it the way Germany maintains the Autobahn, right?
Or even just teach people here how to drive and like, look, that left lane isn't for futting around in. You're not passing somebody. Get the hell out of the
rigmarole and what you have to go through to get a license over there before you're allowed to drive. That's a big difference than over here. I mean, you actually do have to go to school, and they do take it very seriously. I mean, German cars don't even have cup holders in them because they want to pay attention to what they're doing.
It's a privilege over there.
Exactly.
Here it's a right.
I mean, this is dating this story. This is back when the license plates used to be out on Military by the airport.
Yeah, I remember.
One time I had to go there once to renew or something, and there was this old Haitian dude there trying to get a license. I don't know how he walked out of there with a license. I don't think the guy could speak English. I don't know if he could read English. I don't know how he possibly passed the test. I saw him out there driving around, and I was like, I don't want to run into that guy on the road. But they gave that guy a license. And here's an even worse story about that. All right, so my grandfather, when he was about 92, found some doctor that was willing to give him a total knee replacement, which, every other doctor he obviously went to said, no, you're 92, come on. So he talks this doctor into doing it, and he was never the same after the knee surgery, never really fully recovered. So he couldn't drive. And he swore he could drive. And if you ever have to, and there's an elderly person that thinks they can drive, you can take them to the DMV and have them tested. Go, okay, they give him the regular driver test. And of course, he did not pass. They took his license away, and like, okay, great, good idea. So forward about 6-8 months, now my grandfather thinks he's getting better, right? And he's like, I want to go back and take the test again. Okay, take him back. Doesn't do any better than the first time I was there. They give him the license back. I was like, what are you people doing?
They wanted to get rid of him.
Luckily, I had possession of his car, so he never got his car back. But it's just like, what are you idiots doing? He can't drive. And they gave him his license back. I was like, oh my Lord. So yeah, the process here of getting a license is pretty. But then how are you going to deny somebody a license here? That's like a death sentence. How would you live down here without a license?
There's no mass transit, yeah.
No, it's terrible.
But the aggressive driving should be enforced, and it's not. So,
I mean, I live in Gainesville, and of any city I've ever been in Florida, it seems to have the best public transport, probably because of the university, but it's still horrible. But there are a million buses there for sure.
I was going to say, what is it other than the bus? It's
buses,
right? Yeah.
But they're everywhere. There's plenty of them.
I imagine all those kids are probably just on electric scooters and bikes.
More than anything,
like
it's kids get KOCs, kids on contraptions, one-wheeled unicycles, and
that's just
razor boards and
crazy.
skateboards with gas engines strapped on them, and all kinds of things that are cobbled together by engineering students.
yeah.
And some of them are just so dangerous, like those stupid little scooters that you ride with like the thing up there.
There's one. I think it's called a one wheel, and essentially it's a unicycle that you stand on. The wheel is just down on it, and I've seen guys going 30, 40 miles an hour down 441. It's controlled by an app on a phone or something. It's insane.
Well, no, those you lean forward. That was give you. But those things, at least, it's a big tire. If you hit something, you got a chance of bouncing over it. Those little teeny scooters with the little wheels, you hit a rock wrong, and you're going in for dental work. That's
I definitely feel like if you drive in the city of Gainesville, the odds of you hitting a person way higher than hitting a car, way much higher to hit a human being.
Now, when I
pop out into the street left and right.
Now, when I was in Gainesville, there was a lot of bicycles. There's still a bunch of people on just
but now they're all electric bikes.
Okay, now they're electric.
So now they all go fast,
which is funny.
Good concerts when I was up there.
Yeah, I bet.
At the O'Connell Dome, we called it the Condome. Saw Devo there.
Oh wow!
Did you say Devo or Dio?
Devo.
Okay.
And Al Di Meola.
Oh wow!
And then outdoor shows. Saw the Allman Brothers, and for Halloween the Plasmatics. Perfect.
Oh, I was at that show.
Okay.
That was 81. No, 82.
Where she chainsawed the car in half.
Yes, I was at that show.
The guitar player had a mohawk with blood coming down his head.
I was at that show. And that was the loudest explosion I'd ever heard in person. Remember when I think they blew the car up at the end, didn't they?
Give it time. You'll hear a louder one.
Yeah, oh man, it was like, holy shit. But yeah, that was crazy. It was Halloween night. I was making out with some chick that had two heads. That was crazy.
Better drugs.
Did you go to school up there?
I did. Yeah.
Did you ever go to any Gator Growls?
No.
I was going to say, that was always fun. I got the privilege of going to the one Gator Growl with Rodney Dangerfield. That was insanely funny.
Oh, I was working for Domino's, and I delivered a pizza to the stadium during Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, no kidding. That was
how
great.
close I got to the Gator Growl.
That was great. That was a great show. You watching Rodney?
I ate that pizza, no.
You probably did.
Yeah, that was a good show, though. And I think the year before that, I think they had Robin Williams one year. He was pretty good. But Gator, they don't still do that, do they?
I don't know.
I don't know if they do that. It's a homecoming thing. They've got to. I'm sure they do.
Oh,
You would know.
I
right?
don't know. I'll look into it. I don't know.
gotta do.
Ask me on the next pod, and I'll tell you if it's.
I mean,
true.
do they have like homecoming parades or anything like that still?
I guess. I don't know.
Well, that's
I don't
what it
pay
would
any
be, I
attention to
guess.
it.
It's a homecoming thing. Interesting. Well, I think it's about time.
Yeah, I
Wrap
think
this
we've
one up.
covered everything and then some.
Don't forget to get the Cravens, cravens.com, whatever you said.
Cravenmusic.net.
Cravenmusic.net.
And give them
of
the-
course, don't forget to call us and leave a message. 904-549-9024.
And like and subscribe.
904-549-9024.
That's a Jacksonville area code.
It is a Jacksonville. That's all I could get.
University of North Florida, good music school.
Yeah, so if you're tired of hearing about what we want to talk about, call us up and leave us some comments. And again, we'll solve all your problems. There's not a problem in the world we can't solve.
All right. Thanks, guys. Like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Take it easy.